Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about the final general election polls before tonight's debate. So if you don't know, tonight, if you're watching this on September 10th, today while I'm recording this video, the presidential debate on ABC News is, of course, going to happen. It's going to happen live tonight. It's going to air at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So in this video, we will be looking at the final polls from from each state, where the election stands in each state. And this is important. Of course, it's always important to see how the polls change, but it's especially important to do a video like this to see how the polls may change immediately following the debate. If we see a major change after the debate, in whose favor will it be? So I'm excited to make this video to see where it stands now, and then to see after the debate, a few days after the debate, how things have changed. So we have all the uncalled states here, are just the remotely competitive ones. This video won't be too in depth. We don't want to spend time on these states where they aren't even remotely competitive, even though there might have been a couple polls conducted. So we have 216 electoral votes that are uncalled, the gray states that you see that we will fill in according to the average of polls from that state. So in the national average, if you carry this, this for the popular vote currently, it's still important to look at. Kamala Harris is ahead by 2.8 percentage points. For reference, Joe Biden won the popular vote in 2020 by 4.5%. Her high was at around 3.7%. So with that being said, let's get into our first state, that being one of the most critical battlegrounds. It's very much a toss-up right now, that being Arizona. And a good start for Donald Trump, as he does have a very slight lead in the average of polls. We won't just be looking at the latest poll, because there's no point in doing that, but we will be looking at the average of all the polls, and it is affected also by the time. Like more recent polls are more relevant in the average. Just to throw that in there. So right now, this state has been going back and forth. When the race started, Trump was ahead by 2. Today, he is only ahead by 0.7, so we can put Arizona into Donald Trump's column by a very narrow tilt margin victory. Now moving on to the state of Florida, a state that is looking increasingly competitive over time. We see today Donald Trump only stands at 3.7%. Now he won the state by 3.5%, so he's really not gaining a whole lot in a state that has been trending towards the Republicans very much lately. So Florida remains competitive. Trump is only ahead by 3.5% in the state right now. And then we go over to another crucial battleground state. Both these candidates want this state so bad. And just today, actually. Just yesterday, that is, Donald Trump took the lead in Georgia. This is another state that is going back and forth. When the race started, Trump was ahead by 1.4. Harris briefly took a lead by 0.2. Then it went back to Trump immediately. And then Harris got a lead for quite a while. And then, just yesterday, it flipped back to Trump. Trump leads by 0.6% in Georgia. Another incredibly close state. Now we have the state of, which one's Maine would be it. So Maine splits their electoral votes by districts and the at-large vote. So we see in the 2nd district, now this is insane. This got a lot of attention because in this district, in the 2nd district, which voted for Donald Trump by 7.4% in the 2020 election, Kamala Harris is ahead in the most recent polls by 5%, which is a likely margin victory. Just an insane result there in Maine. And then you can see in the at-large vote, Harris is ahead by 17%, which is also crazy, because Joe Biden only won it by 9% in 2020, so take that for what it's worth. But Harris absolutely crushes it in the state of Maine. Now in Michigan, this is a very critical battleground state. Of the 7 critical battleground states, this is Harris's first victory. Went through 2, Arizona and Georgia. Harris now takes one. That is the state of Michigan. Harris is ahead. This state has been pretty steady for her. Her high was 3 points, but she is at 1.9% as of right now. So Michigan goes to Kamala Harris. and she's ahead 209 to 188 for Trump. Then we have Minnesota, her running mate Tim Walz's home state. She stands at 7.1%. That's about matching Joe Biden's 2020 margin, so not much of a surprise there. And then Nebraska's second congressional district looks a little competitive, but in the latest polls, Harris is ahead by 5, by 8, by 5, so on average, slightly above 5%, making it a likely margin victory there. Biden won it by 6.6 for reference. Then we have Nevada, one of the 7 core battleground states. And look at that, Harris ahead by 0.1%, an excruciatingly close lead for Kamala Harris in the state of Nevada. She has kept a lead for quite a while now. The last time Trump had a lead was on August 18th. So, I mean, relative to the span of this race, it's a while. But, not so much in normal elections. But Donald Trump once had a lead of 1.2%. Harris has been able to come back. Today, she only leads by 0.1%. Just an insanely close victory in Nevada. And all aggregates of polling in Nevada are expecting an insanely close race, just like 0.1% margins. In New Hampshire, Harris is ahead by 6.5%. That is where I expect the margin to fall around. In New Mexico, wide variety of polls. We have 6. Harris in all of them is ahead by a likely margin, so obviously on average, that gives her victory. We see Harris has been able to expand her victory or her lead right now. She's at 235. Trump and Vance at 188, 270 are needed to win, but Trump still has Texas, so we'll get to that. And then we have North Carolina, one of the 7 core battleground states, and you will not believe this. Harris has taken the lead in North Carolina. This is gigantic. This is monumental. This is election changing. Harris has taken the lead in North Carolina. The last time she had the lead was on August 24th, which was just a 0.1% margin. Today, she leads by 0.2%. There was a new poll from an A+ pollster. I think it was it Survey USA? I think it might have been Survey USA that had her up 3 points in the state, so that obviously boosted her. But yet another tilt margin state. These can go really either way. So North Carolina does go blue. In Ohio, Trump leads every single poll by quite a lot. We have 8 points, 10 points, 9 points. We can discount this On Point Politics Red Eagle poll. They're an unserious pollster, so if you see that, and if you see SoCal Strategies, just know it's unserious. They shouldn't be in the 538 thingies. But Trump leads by a likely margin in every single poll, so obviously that margin would, or the average would fall in between there. Then we have Pennsylvania, the most important of the 7 core battleground states, and who leads? It is Harris. Now, this state is interesting because it has always been close, like, often the closest Harris battleground state. But the thing is, Harris has kept a lead this entire race. Even when she jumped into the race, she had a lead, and she has been able to keep this lead relatively stagnant. She's ahead by 0.9%, yet another tilt state, and she's at 270 electoral votes, and the Harris and Walz win the presidency and vice presidency. But we will continue. We have Texas. Trump is only ahead by 6%. So, getting kind of closer. He was only ahead by 4.5 on average at one point. Now it's 6. But yeah, Texas looks close. 6. I mean, I guess it's not that close. Biden won it, or I'm sorry, Trump won it by 5.5 or 5.6. That is in 2020. So not too much of a surprise. In Virginia, Harris leads by likely margins in every latest poll. So of course that's going to be a likely state. And then finally, Wisconsin. Wisconsin looks very good for Harris in polling. This is one of the 7 core battlegrounds. She's ahead by 2.8, and that concludes our map. So, what we see on this electoral map, the final polls before the debate, Harris and Tim Walz are projected to win by the polls with 293 electoral votes. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are projected to get 245. Now, this is not a prediction, mind you. This is just the map based off of the polls. We have the 3 blue wall Rust Belt states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, all going to Kamala Harris, in addition to North Carolina and Nevada. Interestingly, they don't need North Carolina and Nevada. Trump could have those, and Harris would still win if she keeps the other blue states. Also, interesting to see North Carolina blue while Georgia is red. The polling for this entire race has been indicating the opposite of that, and the 2020 results, as you can see, North Carolina was much more Republican than was Georgia. Georgia went to Biden, North Carolina went to Trump. So very interesting to see that dynamic. So of the 7 critical battleground states, Harris and Walz win 5 of them, Trump and Vance win 2 of them. So thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before Election Day. So we're almost there. So if you could help me out with that, that would be great. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.